Brought to us by Gametime. The NFL season is back. And there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between waiting in lines, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It can be frustrating, but that's why I use Gametime, the app that gives you the advantage. Back to the fans, Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee, which means you'll always get 100% automatic tickets delivered on time and at the best prices. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that is promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go download Gametime today. As Jay just eloquently set up, we are moving to a Quinshon Judkins topic. He got 20 snaps in his first game, guys. Of those 20 snaps, 13 resulted in games where he got the rock. 10 carries, 3 targets, but he was only in on 3 third downs. Kevin Stefanski was asked 20 minutes ago about Judkins' usage in Game 2, and he said, we love what we saw from Quinshon in his debut. Yeah, he's in more condition. He's picking up more of the playbook. We'll see him more in pass protection situations, which they were clearly not comfortable putting him in the initial game. So, Jay, Tyvis, and G, we know what we saw in his debut. How much more do you think the Browns will actually put on his plate in game number 2 against Green Bay?
All of it.
I was about to say.
That's it. Open it up.
Why not?
Guys, you weren't here Wednesday. I said this Monday. We got a star. We've got a star. Do you agree?
Quinshon?
Yep.
I said that when they drafted him.
Okay, good.
Quinshon.
I mean, now we've seen it. What did you think of that stiff arm of Marlon Humphrey?
I smiled.
That was a man.
That was like one of them Derrick Henry joints.
That's exactly who I thought of.
Then he gave you some.
Like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, Quinshon is he got some attitude to him, and I think that's kind of what you need. You know that phrase, angry runs? He's the epitome of it. That's exactly what he does. I think that the way he runs the ball, it brings energy to everybody else around the team. You see him do something like that, there's no way that when he stiff-armed Marlon like that, you wasn't turned up. Like, there's no way it's like, oh, I got to get some of this. We doing him like that? Oh, I'm about to get some of this. Like, it has to be that type of thing, and I think he brings that impact. You talk about what we going to see differently this week. I mean, why would you not? Off to 2 days of practice, he was your leading back in carries and rushing yards. Why would you not just go ahead and just open it up? I don't want to hear this. We shouldn't be in the Nick Chubb thing where he don't get to 20 carries. I think we might, though.
Remember why we did that? So he could be around long enough to score touchdowns for the Houston Texans. Remember that? Well, this is a longevity play.
You see that? You see that nice little burst he had?
I did see it.
Little burst.
I did see it.
Now here's the thing.
But remember, we were treating him with kid gloves because we wanted him to have a 10-year career in Cleveland.
He had two lower body injuries.
Great.
And he was getting 16 before them.
Run him when he's healthy.
I tell you what, man.
As the Guardians owner once told us, enjoy them while you have them.
Well,
talking about Frankie Lindor.
You know, the crazy part about it is, Tyvis, man, they told him, I see his agent said, hey, listen, when we get in here, you sign this deal, we got to get rid of the Neapolitan. Hey, we can't do that.
Oh, he all black now?
The half and half got to go.
Is it not all half? Is it not half and half?
Ain't none of that. Half and half is gone. This is the nose to the Neapolitan is gone. Nose to the grind, Judkins. So I'm gonna say this. First of all, y'all cats, man. I mean, y'all Buckeyes y'all is devious for that, man. Y'all didn't already call him Derrick Henry. You got the Derrick Henry stiff arm.
That stiff arm was Derrick Henry like.
I mean,
prove it wrong.
I mean, it was nice stiff, man.
He put him to the dirt.
What are you talking about? Were 2 feet off the ground.
It was one of them.
Yep.
Like, that's disrespectful.
Here's the thing. I had to say that, Director Steve said, Executive Producer Steve said, he got a little something for me after the show extra if I, threw that dig at the Buckeyes, Michigan, man. So, listen, checks paid. Let's go. Go.
See you in November.
See you in November.
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Judkins, this is the thing. What you saw, though, Jay, all jokes aside, is you saw what guys look like. The Browns, a lot of times, don't have guys. They like he's one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have many of them. And when they come and they show up and you see them, you're like, oh, he's all right. When you see Myles Garrett get off the bus, cool. When you see, Denzel Ward, if he's not cramping up, when you see Denzel, you're like, okay, he probably nice. You know what I'm saying? When you see some of these other dudes on the squad, the difference between him and Dylan Sampson caught some checkdowns that first week. Pat Scott's like, we got us something. You're like, nah. But you see what Baltimore was doing. They was laying everybody else down like it was their bedtime. Nope, what you doing? Street lights is on, come over here. Nope, turn the TV off, get in the bed, girls. Y'all doing too much. Stop all that giggling. Like, they was putting them down on the ground. This dude, he was like, nope. I'm a little different, and that's off a couple weeks practice. So with the Browns having
no, couple days.
Yeah, you're right. Couple
really,
days.
one padded practice.
One padded. So what they have to do is, I've always said this: the best teams in the world spam their best players. They spam them.
So you got to treat him like Derrick Henry, give him the ball.
I'm gonna keep giving him the ball. I don't have. No one says you have to. No one says you have to have trail mix. You don't have to have nuts and pecans and raisins and M&Ms and sesame sticks. You can just have regular M&Ms and eat them the whole time. Give him the rock and let's keep it going.
You know why, Jay, you bring up a great point. You know why it was so significant, why you're able to say, like, we got us one? Mm-hmm. Because I look at Baltimore's defense like, you gotta be that thing if you're going to get off on their defense.
They got 11 angry guys on that side of the ball.
The way he went down there and brought it back to him, like that was the Browns 2 years ago. That's still the attitude that we've been chasing since we lost to Houston.
Yeah.
They are not the same mentally. Mentally, like, they didn't care who you was. They was picking fights with the 49ers before the game. They was out there knocking people out the game. It was like, who is this physical Browns team?
And Judkins was taking it to them.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
But he was alone. Yeah, he was the only one doing it.
We need more dogs. Now, the benchmark in the NFL is 5 yards per carry. You're an all-pro player, a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he was at 6.
He was at 6.
Against
now, I know
Baltimore.
it's a very limited sample size, but the team he did it against, Micah Parsons against the run is ranked 50th.
Run at him.
Jake, I give you a
Against
stat.
the pass, he's ranked 7th. Those numbers are from last year.
Run at him.
Can I give you a stat on Judkins?
I'd love to hear it.
Take that again real quick. This is going to be a partial nugget in the 5-pack of stats you need to know on Friday.
Oh, good.
But I'll give a little teaser right here. 61 rush yards against Baltimore.
Yeah.
Now, granted, 31 came on run at the end. He had 9 carries for
They all
30 yards
count.
before that. It all counts.
I like
Of
the
those
physical
61,
run.
That's what I liked.
And this ties back to the initial conversation we had. Of those 61 rush yards, you ready for this?
Yeah.
57 came after contact.
I believe it.
57 of his 61 rush yards came after
I believe it.
contact.
You know why? Because the line is like water, and he was getting hit right away.
There's guys, when you watch that film, there's no movement. First of all, there's no movement when they're in the right place. I saw a play where they was trying to kick out the end, and I saw a dude. It was a linebacker. He came in and spilled the football and wrong-armed Teller.
You know what? Wait, spill it means that he didn't leverage it. He kept it so it didn't keep going outside.
Right.
That's spilling it.
And they was on. It was swarms of people. I mean, when they was reading it, they downhill, boom, at the point of the attack. There's no movement. I don't know what they're teaching. And then when they are in the right position, Poaches plays too high. DeJuan Jones plays too high. I give, when you get Bitonio, he's at this point of his career, and that's why I always tell people, nobody gets more physical as they get older. Nobody does. Like, that's why LeBron don't play no defense. He's like, if I play defense on this play, it's taking my life points away. Yeah. I just took 3 days off my life. I'm not about to play no defense like that.
LeBron don't play defense?
No, he's
not
like,
anymore.
Not anymore. Like, you can't, like, that physicality.
It's effort play. It tears you up.
It eats you up. And so they're on their last legs. The problem I got, and the thing is, and this is why I always like to extrapolate and look at the big picture as we talking about it. The problem with the Cleveland Browns is they made the entire offseason about the quarterback and where our quarterback was and where we going to get our quarterback. And we got these 2 first-round picks. But the problem is when you own a house, Jay, sometimes you can have the roof and the basement go crazy. And if you get both of them, you go into the credit union.
You got to fix 2 things at once.
It's 2 at once.
I don't know how we going to fix it.
So the line, then deteriorated right
Because if DeJuan is as bad as y'all saying, that means we need a whole new five.
You got it's a starting five.
Listen, we said Monday, who's coming back to play next year for the Browns?
You need a whole new
Luke
five.
Whippler.
Okay.
Go Bucks. I'm going to keep screaming.
What have you thought of him when he's been in there?
He been solid.
We got to just see
Luke is solid.
But he said it's unknown.
If Ethan goes down, we will be fine.
So you need you're going to have a new five on offensive line. Plus, you need 4 or 5 receivers. Your top 2 receivers can't catch a cold.
No, they lead the league in drops.
So how you...
Do they lead? Yeah, they probably do. I don't even need to ask that question because when did the offensive line rank on the PFF for this past?
Probably.
Oh, it had to be last.
I'd have to go look. I don't have that
bottom
pulled up
3.
real quick.
McNuggets, I'll tell you, I want to circle back to that stat, and I'm glad we're going to revisit it on Friday, the yards after contact. Guys, 57 of his 61 yards came after contact. That means our offensive line gave him 4 yards of daylight.
Guess what I said?
Oh, my God.
Guess who else they used to do that for?
Nick Chubb.
It's not like that.
Well, Nick
I've been telling y'all this line has been not good.
Nick had a chance in his career to run behind some decent lines.
But think about...
Their offensive line coach was looked at as the best in the league.
Wait a minute. Jay, you do know that. What's the one thing they said about Nick Chubb that made him special? His ability to do what?
He makes the first
I understand that.
All right.
Sure, he made them look better. But, guys, our offensive line a couple of years ago, under Callahan,
where we had the 2 tackles that was gone and we was down our 3rd and 4th string?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you go back and look where we ranked PFF-wise, we were top 5 in the league.
The problem is, Ty,
we didn't run the ball at the time.
Well, listen, that's a different discussion.
The problem is...
That's a different discussion. You know why? Because one game that comes to mind, that it was against the Cardinals 2 years ago. The Browns dismantled the Cardinals.
Wait.
And it was told
the
to
Deshaun
me.
game?
Hold on. It was told to me by a reporter that heard this with their own ears, that the owner, when standing outside of the locker room getting ready to go in, was responding to a comment, "That's a nice win," and his response was, "We should have thrown it more." What does that tell you?
Paul DePodesta said that we need to put the ball in the air. That's why we was moving off of Nick Chubb to get Deshaun Watson, and that messed up everything.
Thank you. You know,
I'm on my way, ain't I? I'm on my way.
young grasshopper, you learn quickly.
Conspiracy theories.
You're right. No, but I mean, listen, if the owner likes to eat filet, when you go on corporate retreats, what do you think's going to be on the menu?
Salmon.
If the owner likes to throw the football, what do you think the football team is going to do, especially when the owner is that involved?
Punt.
45 throws in game 1, 45 throws in game 2.
That's all they got.
Well, Jay, you mentioned, I know you're doing this intentionally because you're a very smart man and read the rundown, but that gets us into our last topic before we bring Ross on.
You're welcome.
And Ross, by the way, who played offensive line in the NFL, could give us some good insight on the DeJuan Jones stuff because
he can.
Not only did he play, he called the game against Baltimore.
He was there.
He saw it firsthand.
Saw it all.